mental health and what we both believe is the predominant mover behind uh, people being mentally unhealthy?
I would say it's inflammation. So if we're thinking about psychiatric illness, right? We're thinking about depression and anxiety are the main things that people have. And there's things like obsessive compulsive disorder and psychotic disorders. But the majority of people that I see struggle with depression and anxiety. And I think that's probably, 80, 90%. And mainstream psychiatry, like you said very well, wants to say, what is the right pill for you? And you're absolutely right. Like in residency, the way I am evaluated is whether or not I gave the patient the right combination of pills. And the biggest mistake I can make is giving someone the wrong pill or not giving them a pill at all. Because there is this problem that if someone comes to see you and you don't give them a pill, you start to get questioned and people start to say like, well, are you sure you're doing this right? Like maybe you should be, really giving them a pill. And you really have to justify this. But if you give someone a pill, immediately the pressure's off. Like you gave them a pill, so all is good. It's such a crazy thing. And everyone watching this will have no subtle knowledge. It's not subtle knowledge. I mean, it's basically we're told that the brain is broken. And this is the undercurrent that you and I were taught as physicians, and that doctors that are being trained right now are trained in the paradigm that the reason people are ill is because they have a pharmaceutical deficiency and they have a genetic problem. And, there's this fire from the gods in the pharmaceutical drugs that we use, and these are the only way we're going to fix it. Never in medical school was I told, hey, you might want to think about diet because there are movable, malleable factors in terms of people's diet and lifestyle, exposure to toxins, things like this, stress, inadequate sleep, that actually are at the root of the majority of the things that you're going to treat. I was never told that, but that has been my.
Oh man, we're gonna stop it right there. Uh, hey, what's up, everybody? This is Aaron, the Big Black Dude, and welcome to the Big Black Dude podcast. We're on episode 3 right now, and I'm actually in the middle of shooting a series of fasting videos because I'm on a 5-day fast, and right now today's day 4, so we're getting towards the end of this, and so I just wanted to put something on there. This is what I do every day. I listen to podcasts, and I would like to share some of the thoughts and opinions on these podcasts with you guys, uh, as well as many other things. So, welcome to my new format. If you guys like it, comment below. If you don't like it, you hit the button or the dislike button, one or the other. Just letting me know how you guys feel about it. But yeah, this video that I was listening to is actually from Dr. Paul Saladino, MD. You guys can look him up on YouTube. And that's Dr. Paul Saladino, MD. And the video is titled Depression and Anxiety Related to Diet? Question mark. My conversation with Dr. Ken Berry, MD. Yeah, so these are actually two very different doctors in the social media space, but they are doctors. One's a psychiatrist, one's, I believe, has a family practice, which would be Dr. Ken Berry. And Paul Saladino is the clinical psychologist who just got his, MD and all that other fancy shit. But I've been listening to a lot of them, and he's pretty much new to the health space, but he's got a lot of compelling things to say. So I've been listening to a lot of his content. He always has interesting people on, and I always feel like we should give a shout out to the people who inspire us, who motivate us, who teach us, and that's something that a lot of us don't do enough on social media. So I'm gonna make a new trend. I'm gonna make a new trend myself. The trend of highlighting, because there's so many fucking videos on YouTube that are about tearing somebody down, uh, you know, this vegan YouTuber said this, or this guy said he only eats meat and he's crazy. It's always a hit piece, uh, somebody discrediting whatever somebody said. The internet's fucking insane because you can, on one end, you can have somebody who sounds credible, who sounds like they know what they're talking about, who has studies to back it up, who has uh, their own unique perspectives on it. And then, a couple days later, you watch another video about someone else talking about said person and completely dismantling their argument with their own studies. And it's just madness. And this is why self experimentation is so fucking important. I could listen to all these people in the world, I could listen to them all day. But if I don't try uh, anything that they say, if I don't put my own uh, uh, body to the test, which I'm doing right now, which is related to this fasting thing. We're going to get to the topic of the video eventually. This is a podcast. I'm not in any rush. I'm sorry that if it seems like it's meandering, it's because it is. And I'm going to be meandering because my mind, I try to do, I try to do more, what is it called? Coherent videos on my channel most of the time. But I like these podcasts. I get to say what I want and do what I want and express myself the way I want. And I enjoyed it. So anyway, I've been doing a lot of self experimentation myself, which gets me into this video that you guys are watching. And it's real simple. The reason why it took me so long to get into it because it's so fucking simple. And I mean, you could look up people like Jason Fung. You could look up Cole Robinson, the Snake Diet dude. You could look up so many other people on social media. Just go on YouTube and type in the word fasting. The world is yours. You will have tons of people to look at and to explore and ideas to explore. But people don't fucking do it. People don't do it. It's like, oh, I try to stay calm. I am on 4 days of not eating. I'm doing a dry fast today, which means no water intake. Um, there's a video that's going to be coming up that's going to be explaining this, but I was having some extreme case of diarrhea yesterday, and it was kind of disgusting. And yeah, so I had to rethink what I was doing. I was drinking a lot of water during my fast. I was ingesting a lot of salt and a lot of potassium and even some baking soda in there, which is all normal. I'm saying is outlandish. It's all stuff that's been studied by men greater than I, so to speak. Um, so I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm not doing anything radical that's not already out there. Um, it's important to have uh, salt in your water, especially when you're fasting, because salt actually has electrolytes. When it breaks down in the body, uh, it sort of it sort of helps fuel the electrical charges in your entire body. Um, and it helps prevent cramping, it helps preventing fatigue, but getting too much and you might shit yourself while you're walking to the store with your baby. It happens, which is actually something I did not reveal in the video that's going to be posting soon. Oh well. Uh, oh my God. I mean, I was getting to the point where I was ready to start asking, like, I was going to start knocking on doors. Holy shit. Almost shitting yourself while walking, your baby, in a stroller to the store to buy water. Oh my God. It was so hot yesterday. It was so fucking hot. It's not even funny. Uh, but I wasn't sweating that much, which is good. When you're fasting, uh, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but coming from somebody who in a previous life, the previous, like 30 years of my life, I was a chronic sweater. I mean, I sweat in the summertime. I sweat in the wintertime. I used to sweat uh, just getting up and getting something to drink. I used to sweat playing video games. I mean, it used to be one of my most insecure things, being a chronic sweater. And when I started shifting my diet and experimenting with different things, and was introduced uh, to the ketogenic diet a couple years back, uh, the first 3 days I stopped sweating. It was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. That was one of the first major changes that I've experienced. That sort of let me know intuitively, and this is very important, very fucking important. Intuitively figure out that what I was doing was doing something right, because throughout my entire life I was under the impression that me sweating every second of the day just was the way things were going to be in my life. That was just my life. That was just me, at one point in time. And I can remember I would get so embarrassed getting inside people's cars because I would fog up their windows. No matter whose car I got into, whether I was in the front seat or the back seat, uh, didn't matter where I was located in the car. There was a just heat used to shoot off my body, and with the condensation on my body and the sweat, I would instantly fog up anyone's windows whose car I would be in. And being in the car a lot with my brother and him being a dick, or was a dick. He still is, but just a lot less of a dick. Uh, would always comment on it, which is, I mean, the fog would start from my radius, and it would eventually encapsulate the entire car. It used to be ridiculous. It would start and very quickly, so everyone would roll down their window, turn on the air, just something to mitigate that. But let's just say it was super embarrassing. So when I remember I used to work overnight, and I remember like it was not like yesterday because I have a shitty ass memory, but I remember it. I was at work and I was walking along, doing my regular work shit, and it was overnight, so it was around 3 a.m. and it was a quiet moment before things started picking up at work again. Uh, just for context, I used to be a CNA, which is a certified nursing assistant, and I worked at nursing homes. Um, it was a I wouldn't say a state job, but hey, we were scrutinized. You know what I mean? Like we were scrutinized with a fine tooth comb. You got to be on your shit when you're a CNA. And I remember just in the middle of getting ready to do rounds, or I think it was right after I finished doing rounds, which is going from room to room to room, uh, changing people, uh, adjusting people in bed, getting people something to eat or drink, uh, various things throughout that period. And I realized something in the middle of all that madness. I wasn't sweating, and it just came over me because I was just not really focused on anything. But I wiped my face and there was nothing on it, and I was like, I just finished doing mad work. What the fuck is going on? Like, and that was my first sign. That was my first sign that whatever I was doing, um, was on the right path. And then I started looking up, chronic sweating, and realized that it had to deal with inflammation. And then I quickly started looking up other things and realizing almost everything there. I swear, 95, maybe too much, 90% of most people's problems uh, in America or across the world in terms of their health has to deal with some form of inflammation. You know, for example, and I'm going to go on a tangent and I'm going to forget what I was planning to say, but I'll get back into it. Uh, let's look up. Let's look up anything. Here we go. Hey Google, what is? Actually, I don't think I should put that in there. Hey Google, what diseases are caused by inflammation in the body?
According to Medical News Today, although damaged tissue cannot heal without inflammation, chronic inflammation can eventually cause several diseases and conditions including some cancers, rheumatoid arthritis, atherosclerosis, periodontitis, and hay fever.
Um, and that was just a quick Google check. I mean everything. Um, for example, what high blood pressure, for example, is there's a lot of reasons why you can have high blood pressure, but one of the reasons, part and parcel, could be inflammation. Think about it. If your body is inflamed and puffy throughout, it's going to constrict on around and on the veins. Think about what else? What other things would it do? Just think about fluid being in the body, in the brain, tumor, uh, or nerve pain. It's a constriction. Just think of not a tumor. You can get a stroke from inflammation in the brain. The brain being inflamed can give you a stroke. The the body being inflamed can give you tons of like brain swelling. That's inflammation. Uh, when you break a bone, the first thing you see is a swelling in the body. That is one, the correct form of inflammation. Why the the reason inflammation exists, and most people are going through a very subtle but devastating form of inflammation throughout the entire body. So if your ankles are swollen like mine aren't, that is inflammation in the swollen ankles, the fluids building up in the ankle that can have just the body keeping fluid in and again have catastrophic problems. Heart attacks mainly are caused by fluid buildup in the heart and lungs because your body can't hold onto it anymore in the muscles where it's supposed to be trapped in the skin and the fat, that it starts building up physically in the body. I mean, inflammation causes almost any issue you could think of, almost, and then cancer does it. Autoimmune disease is autoimmune disease causes inflammation. Inflammation causes autoimmune disease. I mean, it's so much. Most people who have like HIV and AIDS, or HIV that converts to AIDS, is because their immune system has been compromised enough due to plenty of factors, assault on virus, assault on on their nerves, their nervous system, assault on their body just being inflamed. Because if you get sick, your body gets inflamed. If you stress too much, your body gets inflamed. The inflammation is a protective mechanism, and this is what a lot of people don't realize. The body is smart as fuck. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert in this. I've just been doing a lot of research, and I think intuitively, the body is smart as fuck, and it's smart as fuck to a degree. Um, if you don't mess it up, because everyone in America, most people's bodies are 90, you know, inflamed 90% of the time, which is bad. You don't want to have your body to be inflamed that long because it, your body's never going to not know what's not a threat. You know, it's madness. I understand it sounds crazy, and but it's true. It's true. Unfortunately, I didn't create the body. You can speak to the man upstairs for that. But there are people who do their due diligence and research, and people, which I'm not one of those people, but I am brave enough to experiment and try things. And I think not eating for 4 days is fucking amazing. I feel, and I haven't had any water today either, mind you. Uh, I feel great. I lost 15 pounds on the scale from in 3 days. It was honestly two and a half. It was 2 days, really. I checked the scale day before yesterday, and today, and 15 pounds are gone magically. And all I did was stop fucking eating. It's that simple. I mean, everyone knows that if you don't eat, you will lose weight. But people also think and believe that if you don't eat, you will die. You know, there's a difference. Like people fast, every culture fasts. People fast all the time. Because there's a difference between fasting and starving. Huge difference. Difference being real simple. Fasting is a choice. When you starve, no one wants to starve. No one, oh yeah, what the fuck I want to do today? Yeah, I'm gonna starve to death. Mm. No one chooses to starve, but people can choose to fast. And if you choose to fast, uh, it's a completely your body's going through completely different processes. Think about it. Uh, I don't. I'm not eating, but I don't have the stress on my body and mind of not worrying about where the next meal is going. That right there, you know, is complete different sort of brain chemistry. I don't have to think about looking for food. I know where the food is. It's in the fucking fridge. Uh, I don't have to think about where to find water supply. I got a pitcher with a Brita filter. You know, so the panic involved in starvation, which is very real and very important because you need to be in a heightened awareness to fight for your fucking life. Yeah, it's real simple. But when you fast and you choose not to eat, you can still get a ton of benefits that starvation brings. The heightened awareness, the elevation of energy. Because when you watch like like Naked and Afraid, or you watch just anything when it comes to starvation. What Castaway, that movie with Tom Hanks and shit like that. Starvation always looks fucking brutal, but you'll see that they always have these bursts of energy every once in a while to either make something, create something, hunt something, or gather strength to kill something and fucking eat it. Those bursts of strength, those bursts of energy that you get, that's not magical. That's our body's designed to do that in states of starvation. I wish I can be the guy who shows you the studies and all this stuff, and there are other people who do their due diligence in doing that. You could look up Jason Fung, for example. He has a YouTube channel as well. You know, they talk about how your energy levels can go up in fast states. It'll dip down for a while, but there is an upward trend. Obviously, there would be uh, eventually, if you don't get the proper um, nutrients, you will see decline in energy. You will start, you know, wasting away. But goddamn, I'm just below 350 fucking pounds. I have the energy to burn. I cannot eat legit on some real shit. If I kept with my electrolytes and drink water, I cannot eat for 15 days and be fine. I won't have great energy. I won't I won't I won't be feeling awesome. I'll be at a solid 3, maybe a 4 in terms of energy levels for at least the later half of those 15 days, but I can do it. There was a study of a guy who fasted for who was under, this is a scientific study, not just some shit that somebody said. Uh, it's often repeated, but no one really cites the specific study and or uh, like scientific group who did it. But I should look it up eventually because it's been parroted so much. Uh, but someone fasted for over a year, like literally fasted for over a year. And as more people were, and there was a bunch of questions when this story came up um, about what were they feeding him. They didn't give him. I think they gave him just like a little bit of salt, almost bare minimum ingredient, nutrients, but his body was able to uh, adapt because he was a super obese guy. He was almost like maybe 500 pounds or something like that. That could be wrong. I haven't looked this up in a while, but it exists. And he miraculously didn't have much loose skin because the body was also eating uh, the when the body starts eating itself, which is called autophagy. Autophagy. You can look it up. Just look. Please don't believe a goddamn thing I'm saying. Look this stuff up for God fucking sakes. I've been trying to. I've been doing this diet shit for damn near. It's been over 3 years now. I can't believe time's flown that much, and I've tried to talk to countless people, friends and family and strangers who who haven't seen me in years, and they seen that I lost 100 pounds, or they see me lose maybe 20 pounds at first, and 30 pounds at first, and 40 pounds. And there are people who have constantly seen my journey uh, as they get fucking fatter, and they don't want to know. They don't want to. I try to talk to so many people. I gave up talking. I'm talking to fucking you guys because someone's got to listen. My friends and family have not, like, they're just getting into keto, 2 years after I've been talking about it. And they're not getting into it because of me. They're not asking me advice. They're not asking me potential pitfalls. People are fucking crazy. I don't know what it is, and it's fine. It's fine. People can do what they want, but I am going to do my due diligence in at least explaining the amazing things that regular old fucking Aaron has experienced through diet and exercise. Who would have fucking thought? And yeah, you would have fucking lose weight. I had a friend ask me, I want to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks. You know what my fucking answer was? Just stop eating. Just don't eat for 2 weeks. You'll lose 20, 30 pounds easy, easy. Not saying the diet is easy, but you want to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks. Just stop fucking eating. I lost 15. Granted, I'm a bigger guy, so the bigger you are, the more you're gonna lose. Uh, and if anyone watches these videos, um, and these videos are going to be up for a long time until I get banned for saying something fucking crazy. You're gonna be able to see the progress. I'm putting these videos out. I'm saying my weight. I'm being honest with you guys because you guys are going to see the fucking change eventually. I put these videos out because I need fucking accountability. Now, I get accountability by putting my words out into the fucking matrix and making sure that I hold up to that shit. You don't know how much I wanted to fucking cheat? Oh my god. I have been wanting, I've been dreaming about fucking food. Dreaming about it. I would wake up in the middle of the night with the taste of something in my mouth, like of food. I don't know what it is. It could be sweet, it could be savory. This morning, I had to taste the fucking chicken in my mouth, and I did not eat, but I'm craving food. But the craving is it's relative. The craving is relative. Fasting is all mental. That's it. It's all mental. It's literally that fasting equals mental. That's it. Because oh, it's what else do you got to do? You got to do nothing. I can sit here. I could sit here and not go to the gym and not exercise and not do anything and especially not eat and I would lose fucking weight. It's that simple. Oh man. And that's what I'm doing. I'm starting to see changes in like I'm starting to see a little bit of, you know, shadowy figures. The claymation of my body is starting to take shape, and it's interesting. It's interesting shit to be online and start seeing little changes in my body, like taking a glance on the side and seeing, you know, more protrusion over here, and it's just from not eating. I haven't worked out. The most I did was walk a mile and a half yesterday, and that shit almost killed me. It was a lot. Well, it didn't almost kill me. I besides almost shitting my pants. Besides that, I also almost passed out. Got a little lightheaded. Now I wouldn't say I was on the verge of passing out. I just got lightheaded on the trip and lightheaded in the store. But on then I got some water, chugged it. Way back home was fine. And then I took like two more shits after that. Oh yeah, I took like at least 7 shits yesterday on some real shit. It's not good, but that's why I'm dry fasting today. I'm not gonna ingest any water. You know, I drink enough salt and potassium and magnesium yesterday that I know it's still in my system, and I still know it's in my system because I'm not gonna tell you how I know that, but it's still in my system. And yeah, you know, I can dry fast now and be great. I feel awesome right now. There's gonna be some lulls, you know, in my energy levels for sure. There's gonna be some lows and some dips, but overall, I feel great. And you know, that's it. If you want to lose weight, just stop fucking eating. If you want to lose weight quick, I didn't say it was gonna be fun. Now you could look up other people online. You could look up Elliot Hulse. You could look up who else can you look up on fasting? I mean, there's so many people. Yo, Elliot. Boom, 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 boom. Have you guys heard of that guy? He was one of the he was one of the foremost um, early day fitness YouTube guys that sort of called me into action. He sort of made me look at life a little differently. Uh, and to this day, he still his words online help shape me as a man. You know that's this another one of another thing this podcast is supposed to be is trying to help men, trying to help men be fucking men, and it's hard. So, and I never had a a true positive male figure in my life. I've had positive male figures, but I didn't have a dad who was a positive male figure, or or stepdad. It was just always farther removed. So when you grow up not having uh, males in your life like that, but sort of males on the periphery, we men always look up to men, even if it's not the men we know. We look up to John McClane in Die Hard. We look up to Arnold Schwarzenegger in whatever fucking movie he is. Sylvester Stallone in whatever movie he's in. We look up to Optimus Prime. I could look up to whoever the fuck I like. I could look up to anybody. Being not having that strong male presence in my life has, in a way, made me more able to suck in more nuggets of male wisdom from other people. So when I see someone like Elliot Hulse online, and he was I used to call him Elliot Hustle, but that's because I have dyslexia and I never knew his name because when I looked at it, I seen Hustle. But again, that's dyslexia, and that's just me being honest. I could cut this shit out. I don't have to say that, but I do because I'm not trying to be like any other of these fake polished podcasts. Uh, I curse. I stumble over my words. I think faster than my mouth can spew out words, so I'll jumble along. I can always edit that and clean it up. But this right here, the Big Black Dude podcast. I'm just gonna show it. This is who I am. I fucking love me. To be honest with you, the a lot of people don't like me. So whatever hate I get online is nothing compared to the hate that I get from real people. So, oh yeah, my girlfriend hates me. There's one. My baby mamas hate me. There's three. Well, in total, three. Most of my friends don't like me, and I can name about 15 to 20 ex-friends who have blocked me and or stopped talking to me, who do not like me anymore because of my mouth, because how real I am, because of the things I'm not afraid to say. And that's my path as being a man. Uh, I liken myself. I didn't realize I'm a lot closer to fucking Socrates than my friends care to admit. I mean, the ones who fucking know who Socrates is. I'm just getting to learn who the fuck he is. They didn't teach us anything in school. I damn near got straight F's. I didn't pay attention in school. I was trying to not have my mom's head get fucking knocked in. My brain was elsewhere. Oh man, me and my siblings, my brother and my sister. I'm the youngest. Uh, we all struggle with a terrible memory. A terrible memory. Like one of the most embarrassing things uh, to me was after I graduated high school. Till this day, there are people who come to me like, "Yo, what up, Aaron? What up?" And I don't know who the fuck they are. That's it. One, I've been hit in the head a lot as a kid. That not from adults, but from other kids. I used to fight a lot. Growing up in the hood, shit like that happens. And yeah, I don't remember people's names because in from growing up because I wasn't focused on them. I was focused on surviving the next day. I was focused on uh, making sure my mom was safe. I was focused on a lot of things, so my memory is shot. I have uh, a very good I have very good intuitive memory. Like if someone did me wrong, oh yeah, I'm not gonna forget your face, your name, what you did, how you did it. It- Someone who was perceived. I look up. I remember threats. I look up. I remember negative, and I don't take for granted positive, but it's it's a thing. You have to shine a light and focus on the things that are wrong, because those are the things that can kill you. If everything was right, I wouldn't have to worry about anything. So when my body's telling me that things are horribly going wrong, like when I derailed on my diet, uh, was it almost a week ago? I guess a week ago, because I went from eating horrible for a week to fasting, which is not advisable. I do not advise that to anybody. Do if at all possible, eat as cleanly as possible, as long as possible before your fast. Whether that be uh, keto, which is just low carb, high fat. Have some nice good salads, some steak and eggs. Um, Carnivore, which is probably the best. The lower carb you can go, the better. The lower carb you can go, um, the better you will be going into a fast, because your body will automatically have been slid into a particular level of ketosis. Um, so my advice to anybody would probably be to, uh, if I had to give any good advice to starting a fast, it would be go low carb for a week before the fast. Go low carb or carnivore. Just eat meat and eggs and bacon for a week, and steak for dinner uh, before you start a fast, and that will be a much easier way to slide into it. I'm pretty sure the reason I felt like shit on day 2 and 3 is because the way I entered into the fast. My blood sugars took a huge dip. They were at a huge rise. I didn't have. I probably still had ketones circulating in my body, but they weren't at the level that they should have been. And with my sugars skyrocketed, um, after the first day, and it burned through all the glycogen stores and what have you. The second day it dipped, and it was still down for the third day. But luckily, day 4, uh, I'm feeling fucking good. I mean, I'm feeling real good. I like this feeling. I didn't think I was gonna feel like this, but my day, what is it? My day 4 video that I'm gonna post tomorrow. Hopefully, I put some excerpts in this in there. If I have the creative capacity to do that, I don't want to overexert myself and overthink things just yet. I will be doing that in the future, maybe, possibly, uh, because in order to put me on the internet, it's very difficult, and I've talked to quite a few people about it, but not of my strategy. Now I see the strategy now that I want to do. I want to be as authentic as humanly possible, while I guess you could say, well, I don't know, not being too offensive. I want to be the most authentic version of myself in the most righteous way possible. I don't want to start creating clickbait. I don't want to start creating uh, uh, attack videos. My first video about someone else was me apologizing for Frank Tefano. If you don't know who Frank Tefano is, he's another uh, a more newer uh, carnivore uh, social media presence, and he's a polarizing figure, to say the least. I didn't like him at first, but I did see him upping his quality and upping. I mean, Sean Baker just canceled his ass, unfortunately, and I'm sure that I hope it's not permanent. I really hope it's not permanent, because uh, I do like him, to a degree. He's a New York dude, and I'm a Jersey nigga, so we have a strange Jersey people have a strange relationship to New York people. You know, we admire them to a degree, but we think we're harder. And sort of that New York attitude that Frank Tufano exhibits, which is very in your face or controversial. Me and him share a lot of similarities to the point where we just say things and it could be offensive. We don't have any intention on being offensive. We just say them and they just happen to be offensive. But he seems to more relish in it, and that brings the ire of certain people. But my first video about somebody else was me apologizing to him and and um, complimenting him on seeing his new creativity and his new polish. He's gotten a lot. I think he's going farther in certain ways, and this is what I want my channel to be. I don't want to shit on people. Like I'm a fucking being of love. It's tough love sometimes, but love is love. You know what I mean? Love is love is love. Whether it's if here we go. This is how I'm gonna explain this. You ever you ever been to a black cookout? There's these videos online, recently that or for a while that's been out. And it's like my first experience at a black cookout, you know, shit like that, and it's 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 interesting to see how white people look at us sometimes. But if you ever been to anywhere where there was a lot of black family members, whether it be a reunion, there was a park with a reunion going on. You've been around, you know, you see neighbors. We're loud as fuck. We're blunt. We're cursing at each other. Oh, that motherfucker is stupid. I'm telling you, you owe me that money. This it's normal. This is how we talk. This is our fucking dialect. Our dialect is fucking passion. So it's it may seem aggressive sometimes, the things that I say. It may seem fucked up, the things that I say, but I say everything out of love. Um, and I think most people on social media, I hope they're doing it out of love and or I mean, some people just want to do a money grab, which is fine. That's just not me. Uh, but I think I'm going to go take care of my son today. Well, take care of my son. He's in the room sleeping. Right before this video, I had 3 out of 4 of my kids here, uh, and it was great to see them all together again. It's been a while, and oh yeah, family. Family's another thing that we're gonna be touching on, and the importance of it, and even a fucked up one. I have 4 kids, 3 baby mamas, and so I have I have my baby E right here. Uh, there's J and G, you know, and then there's A. There's 4, and there's 3 kids, 4 kids, scattered about 3 houses. It's very difficult to manage. So, and I can't find shit online about that. I have looked. I have looked for help in in trying to uh in trying to have a there's no help online for uh a fucked up family dynamic or how to navigate it or how to mitigate it, how to improve it. There's very few things online about that. Uh you could find a ton of fucking deadbeat dad videos, whatever the fuck that means, or you could find tons of relationship advice. You could find tons of marriage advice for a one-to-one person, but there's very few advice for people in situations like mine who have and we're everywhere. I just had these 4 little motherfuckers, to be honest with you. I had no kids, just like less than 4 years ago, or more than 4 years ago. And I think that's a good run. Having 0 kids until I was fucking 29. Hey, some people do it. Uh, some people do it much earlier than that. But where's the fucking advice on that? Where's the advice on how to have better relationships with the mother of your children? If you have multiple children with them, or you have multiple mothers in the scenario, how to navigate that in a better way. I'm not saying I'm doing it successfully. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to pretend I'm doing that shit successfully right now. It's actually going fucking terrible. But it's only going terrible because um, it's just the season. It's just the season. I can't. I can't. I have to follow my words, and if my words are saying that, if I have told them verbally that if I'm not happy, there are things that are going to be done about it. From my perspective, I can't make them all work together. I can't make them see the value in having the kids together all the time. I can't make them speak to each other. That's on them. I can only do my part. So if women want to glean some information on the family shit, you might not like some of the things I say. You might not like it because holy shit, y'all don't want to work things out at all. It's your way or no way. Now it's my way or no way as well. Only my fucking plans are much grander than yours. I'm not just saying. I don't say I when I say anything when it comes to kids. It's all of us. I encompass everybody. I want you know you don't know how they're because everyone in my life knows everything. I'm not telling you guys anything that no one else doesn't know. My life is on fucking display. You can find me on online easily. My personal pages. I'm not hard to find. I'm not hard to find. I'm not hard. I don't hide shit, really. Um, maybe a few things here and there, but that's just because I don't want to get fucking arrested or some shit like that. Not saying I would, but I'm just saying, I don't know what the fuck's going on. The world's changing drastically. But but yeah, I'm so the family shit is for the dudes. It's for y'all, the men out here, the men who are watching this, who have multiple kids, who who are struggling with baby mama drama, who don't know how to navigate the onslaught of what they're giving you. I'm here for you because I'm going through it too, and I'm a man. I'm happy. I'm happy. You know what I mean? That's what's number one. What if this background, if this room was in flames right now, which metaphorically it could be, but if I'm happy, truly happy at the choices that I'm making, that I'm going to make, that I'm that are set in motion, life is grand. Men, we don't need anything. This is People don't need anything. This is why one of the reasons why fasting is important for me, and why sticking to this is important to me, and why I'm pushing this out into the world. There's a reason for all this, and I have been preparing myself to be deprived of things. To be a man, you have to have a line that can't be crossed, and that line can be as arbitrary as you make it, but you have to keep that line. My line right now is I'm tired of failing. I'm tired of having a goal and straying from it, from stress, from other people, from other distractions, from other bullshit that pops up. No, I am focused now, and I have to make that choice and speak it into the world as a man. When you speak things, you have to be able to follow through. This is why I'm doing a 5 day fast. I don't want shit right now. I don't want food. I don't want anything. I want to be able to sit here as a man, do what I want, and not have the world grab me in any direction. This is fasting is the ultimate in self mastery. What you guys don't understand, and what I want to iterate here is fasting is the ultimate form of self discipline, you know, and and just strength of will. Like for I don't need anything right now. The only thing I need is water and my own happiness. And the more, in fact, everything else in life sort of detracts from your fast. The only times when I'm thinking about eating, besides the habitual aspect of it, where by 2 o'clock I'll be hungry, or by 6 o'clock I'll be hungry, or 9 a.m. I'll be hungry, you know. But that's because my brain is I'm used to eating at those times. That's when your hunger hormones spike, and the days your hunger spikes at the days you train it to be hungry. If you eat at 12 p.m. every day for a month, and just pay attention to it in your own time. The times you usually eat. Think about the times when you don't eat and when you're hungry. It's always at those times where you're used to eating. So, yeah, I want to train my body to not have to rely on food. I want to train my body to not have to rely on anything, you know? And this is what the fast is about: being a man, saying something and meaning it. You know, I put a promise out into the world that I was not going to eat in 5 days. I was not going to eat. And right now, I think I am. I'll tell you how long I'm into this fast. I'll let you know right now because this is the longest I've ever gone, and I'm actually just starting to feel great. Uh, this is the middle of day 4, and I feel amazing. I'm 88 hours in to my fast, and that's what, 3.5 days, 4.5 days. I don't know, 3.5 days, yeah. And everything that they said was gonna happen happened. The energy's gonna come back after day 3. The You're gonna feel shitty at this point. You just gotta stop being afraid of trying it. And if you want to lose weight quick, here's a strategy. If you don't 72 hours, just go 3 days without eating, and then eat again. Maybe eat a nice big meal after those 72 hours, and then do it again another 72 hours. Then eat a nice big meal. Smaller meal will be better. Lower carb meal would be even better than that. Carnivore meal, low carnivore meal that's not heavy would be optimal, would be best. But then go back into a 72, you know, and you will drop weight like crazy. And I believe so now. I believe it. My body's starting to eat itself up. Autophagy. Again, look it up. These are just words that I'm saying out of my mouth that I vaguely have an understanding of myself. But I don't need to know. I don't need to know all the fancy words. There are people out there, like the guys who I mentioned before, Dr. Ken Berry, Paul Saladino, Jason Fung, uh, Sean Baker, actual real doctors who study this shit for a living. But I don't have to know all the studies. I don't have to be an expert at this. I don't have to be. I don't have to be up on the latest research. I just have to sit there and try this shit and enjoy the benefits. You guys are gonna see the benefits. You're gonna see this big, loud, fat black dude fucking change to a different human being in a while. I promise you. This is a promise I put on the world. If I can do this 5 day fast, I can do fucking anything. And you could too. And you could too. You just do it. But it's fucking true. We all know it's true. Let's do it. Well, this brings us to the conclusion of this episode. If you guys watched this whole thing, congratulations, because I didn't know where I was going anywhere like that. I had a small outline in my head that went nothing like I expected it to. Got into some personal topics that I wasn't expecting to, and hopefully you guys got something out of it at least. If not, at the very least, entertainment. I am not crazy madman Aaron yet. I'm still trying to get comfortable with talking online. I'm still trying to understand how am I going to say things that are going to be the most interesting, least offensive, which is very hard for me to do. And right now, I'm in a talking space of just I'm in stream of consciousness right now. This is how I usually talk when I'm not nervous, when I'm getting used to things, and this is why I'm constantly doing these videos to get better at them. I can see why people do them all the time because, or do them. Period. You have to do them to get better. Any new YouTubers out there, man? I am not. I'm still new, but it's just like just got to do it. And well, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Uh, See you guys around. Thanks. And like, subscribe, comment below. Let's start discussing some shit. I wish I can get into some good topics that I can get some real good dialogue going on down there. But for right now, it is what it is, and I'm still enjoying this. So, see you. Love you, Elijah.